and welcome to another Waypoint FPL update. We're back, I believe, 2 weeks in a row, which feels like a rarity this season, but I'm sure you're very happy for that. I'm sure Chris is thrilled about it as well. Hey, Chris?
Always. What I'm most thrilled about is being able to do this on a Friday and having a game on a Saturday. So,
Yes.
yeah. And we get to do it before. Oh, look. Hello. Mike's here. Yeah. And we get to do that before the game tomorrow. So, yeah. Happy days.
Absolutely, yeah, it's the Waypoint house at Chris's nowadays. Yeah, we'll get straight to the FPL and then we'll get on to obviously the most important thing of the weekend. So we've got some key updates for you, even though we were obviously with you last week, and that is that Palmer has now claimed top spot in the league, Chris, in the quest to retain his title, going for a solid 76 on the week. That wasn't in the top 3 scores, but it was up there. So we'll take a look at the team. So Robinson gets 7, Palmer, his namesake, gets 10, Gordon gets 9, Isak, who he captained, with 32. And then Chris Wood with the 9 as well. So yeah, Alexander Isak getting nearly half the points on his own there, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And say Isak has been the man, but at this point, you got to say to yourself, "Well, fair play for captaining him." You know, I say it'd be very easy to captain Salah, as we've seen in a lot of teams, but yeah, went with the form. And I have to say, to talk about form forwards, you know, Isak and Chris Wood are both in there. So who knew before the season start that those two would be fantasy football heroes come the midpoint of the season?
Yeah.
But, I know I've mentioned this sometime before, but you know, having Palmer having a Palmer in his team is
exquisite.
Kudos for that. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Beyond that, that obviously means Betts falls to second, being top space this week. But he's only a mere point behind. Had a pretty good 67 as well. And Ben is hot on the heels as well of Betts, only 4 points behind. So yeah, very much a 3-horse race. Ben got 73 last week as well. Alex and Ethan, they remain in 4th and 5th, but semi-distant, with Alex being, quick math, 33 points, off of Ben. Yes, it's very much a top 3 as opposed to a top 5 at the moment. But if we drop it down to the top 10, Chris, we do have a couple of new entrants who both jump up from mid-table mediocrity almost. My team, massive Areola with the biggest score of the week, 89 points, followed not far off by Flip, who had the 3rd highest score on the week with 80. And we rocket up to 7th and 8th accordingly. So yeah, if we look at my team, 1st and 8th place with the 89, a truly massive week for massive Areola with 3 points from Flacken. Robinson got 7, Hall got 6, Palmer got 10, Alex Iwobi with 15, Morgan Rogers 6, Nico Jackson 4, and I also captained Alexander Isak, Chris, for that 30 with that 32. So big week for my team.
You love a left back, don't you? You can't get enough of the left-sided players, and Kirkhead is on the bench. I've never seen left backs in one team.
Hey, if it works, it works.
If it works, it works. Fair enough. I mean, it's very similar to the team we just saw, albeit with more left backs. Alex away with 15 points there. Can't go wrong. And actually, he's really suited Fulham this year. Fulham,
he's had a good year, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, what are they going to do? But as I keep waxing lyrical every week, Anthony Robinson might be the best left back, certainly on your team. Which
that's saying something.
Across the league, he is the man. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing a lot of teams with him in it.
Yeah, definitely. No, he is a good fantasy defender this season, that's for sure. And then if we look at Flip's team, who, yeah, as I say, he got the not tied, he got the 3rd highest score of the week with the 80. He also had Hall, Robinson, Palmer, Rogers. He had Ollie Watkins, who got the 8, and he also captained Isak with 32. So sense a theme here with the top scorers, Chris.
Indeed, but I mean, at least he's got a 2 left back, 2 right back splits in
balance. That's what we call that, balance.
Playing centre half in that, but no, there's a wild Jacob Murphy in there as well, by the way.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
A very shall we say unique play with Wisser on the bench.
Yeah.
So you know, Wisser's the form man. I mean, this is a difficult one to justify, but fair play, big score. Also, it's quite difficult to justify his no kit. So
Yeah,
if you're going to be regularly in the top 10 or at least scoring high in this, you've got to be going for the kit, my man.
absolutely, absolutely. Should we? I think we need to institute a new rule that if you get called out on the pod and you don't have a kit, that's a fine. In agreement?
Ooh. Well, that one's
We'll
the
have to
group, I
think.
think.
We'll have to think about that one. Yeah. On to the rest of it then. So we've had the first and the third highest score. The second highest score came from the bottom half of the table. Actually, it came from two teams in the bottom half of the table. In fact, with both Owen, who is now in 14th, and Rob in 17th. I think this is Rob's first shout out beyond his intro shout out, both going for 81, and I'm pretty sure Owen had the lowest score only a week or two ago as well. So from one of the lowest to one of the highest, we'll take a look at Owen's team first. So he had Martinez in goal with 6, Ollie Byrne with 6, Robinson again with 7, Anthony Gordon with 9, Ismail Assar got 6, Rogers got 6, Nico Jackson 4, and again he's at captain with the 32. Chris.
Yeah, consistent score. Likes a 6, that's for certain. Um, but yes, and also one no kit, but two we're going to somewhat balance that out by the fact that he's playing as Mela Sarr, who indeed does play for Crystal Palace, not this week, possibly, but yes, a nice consistent performance there. Across the board from Owen. That's what you want to see. You don't want all your players to score. You want all your players to score. You want don't want one player scoring all your points, shall I say?
No, yeah.
The supporting cast there has worked well. Also, can we look and see there's some serious pedigree on his Invitational Classic leagues there. Not yes, he's 14th, but I see lots of first, sixth, first. I mean,
third. Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to do better in the Pompey one, but But, fourth with scores of 81, it's gonna happen.
Yep, exactly. It's it's absolutely gonna move you up. And then we'll take a look at Rob's team. So let's see what's going on there. So
whoa, see the first hammered.
Yeah, first Esri Konza sighting as well, 8 points. He captained Salah and got 4 points. So actually, it's quite surprising. He's the only one of the top highest scoring teams who didn't captain Isak. He still had him in the team with 16 as well as Wood with 9. But as you say, Amad Diallo coming up big for him on Thursday Night Football with the 20 points, and then Palmer and as well with the 10. So yeah, all about Ahmad on this one, Chris.
All about Ahmad in this one. Yeah, it's absolutely anchored his week. Yeah, not gone well for the Salah captaincy, I'm afraid. But yeah, as a midfield, really good scoring. The only thing that's bad about this is obviously the dodgy Saints logo there, which we'll ignore, and no kit. But yeah, no, 81 points, big score this week, and done it in a different way. We've seen a lot of people who captain Isak and got to that, but there is.
Well, imagine if he did captain Isak, Ahmad would have got him over 100. So if he captained him,
over 100. We haven't seen him over 100 very often this year,
No, we have not. Turn to the bottom of the table. No change in the bottom 3. Harry's still rooted to the bottom, a distant 24th, with Aiden being a fairly distant 23rd as well. They are the only two yet to crack 1,000 points, and Harry did provide once again the lowest score of the week, Chris, at 28, which isn't the lowest, certainly not the lowest we've seen, but by the standards of the week, as you've seen, quite low. Watkins got 80, Captain Haaland, who only got cardio points with 4, Garnacho with the 3, and Flecken with 3, but everything else beyond that was 1s and 2s.
Indeed, and this appears to be a bit of a ghost ship, I'm afraid. So yes.
Well, they're all healthy apart from Senazai, but
that's good. That's by luck than judgment. I don't know. But in terms of both fantasy and a real life team, perhaps slightly unbalanced.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. And that brings us to the end of the Waypoint FPL update. So check the latest fines posting in the group for if you've got fines outstanding. I don't think any are in danger of doubling imminently. As always, Chris, I will give you the final word.
Well, it's a week where we have a match. We have a match where we have an opposition we don't really know anything about, and we have definitely a strong squad tomorrow. So, yeah, as Pete mentioned yesterday, it is a game at Wilden School. Everything's on the chat. It's an 11 o'clock kickoff, 10:15 meet. See you there for what's going to be an interesting game, no matter what happens, because we just don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, we go out with ambition.
Ambition
Try
and
and win
volume.
the game. Ambition and volume. We should be all right.
There you go. See you guys tomorrow.